It's everyone's dream, or that's how I perceive it, no? For me, there's nothing bigger than attending to a World Championship, obviously taking your flag with you as well, fighting for your country as well, and to do well for on a personal level, no? For me, it's the biggest thing in fishing, for me. Obviously, anyone who likes any kind of sport, representing your country is the biggest thing you could do, or that's how I perceive it, no?
When we were kids, obviously when you start fishing and all that, obviously there's now YouTube and there's loads of videos, and we used to watch all these videos in YouTube and saying, look at that guy, Jose Alfonso, 7 times world champion, he's una máquina, he's a crack. And you say, oof, and you really look up to him and see how he fishes. And then suddenly you see yourself fishing in a competition beside him, and you're thinking, whoa, how am I going to fish against this guy who's been so many times world champion, and you're there fishing beside him, and then suddenly he becomes your friend, and you're friends now with him and friends with all the others, and it's an amazing experience.
2015 was our first World Championships at nations level, and we came 10th out of 17 teams, and we actually managed, I think, the best result for Gibraltar as a nation on our first World Championships.
We got into this world, I would say, at around 2014, when we started getting more into like the beach fishing and these competitions. And obviously our first competition was in 2015, and we went straight into a World Championship as nations, representing Gibraltar, and obviously it was wonderful. And obviously, just looking back, starting on 2015, we are only on 2019. That's only really four years we've been in elite fishing. And obviously we do defend ourselves, and we are there, and we've got loads still to learn, but people look at us and they tell us, Mira, you are doing very well for the amount of fishing you do on the beach. You're doing very, very well.
We have actually been to several World Championships. We've been to Portugal 2015, 2016 we went to Ireland, 2018 we went to Wales. We also did in 2017 France, and to be honest, we haven't ended up last, which is good. Yeah. We are just starting, you know. We've just been 4 or 5 years only competing, you know, against the best. The level at the championships is just, you know, it's insane. That's the top of the top, and these anglers are professionals. But to be honest, we do defend ourselves very well.
This year we've managed to get a nice captain, you want to call it that way, a Portuguese friend of ours. He's got, I think it's won 7 World Championships or something like that, something crazy, and he's got lots of experience, and for me he's the number one for me.
I spoke to Charlie Carrera, who's the president of the Gibraltar Fishing Club. I found out that they were going to go out and participate in the club's World Championship in Portugal, I've already been to a few championships in Portugal. I love the place, and so I said, "Mira, I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge." I spoke to Charlie, and he said, "Yeah, by all means, you're coming with a team, coming with us." He actually told me, he gave me a place as a captain, as he needed a captain. So I said, "Mira, I don't mind, I'll go captain for you guys." But then a few days later, one of the team members dropped out. Unfortunately, he had to drop out. So he phoned me and I said, "Mira, you're not captain anymore, you're gonna fish." And I said, "Mira, even better, that's what I wanted. I wanted to go to fish, so why not? I'm up for the challenge." So I was actually now a team member. And then what actually happened was that we didn't have a captain. So things stayed like that. We started having our weekly meetings to set up the team, set up all the tactics, set up all the rigs and all the information we need to gather. And then we started investigating the beaches, the area, and all that sort of investigation. Then we decided that we wanted to go training for a few days well before the competition, a few months before. So the problem was that we were going to go in the period which was too near summer. So we were a bit scared which beach we could actually go, whether it was going to be full of tourists. We didn't know, licenses, this and the other. So I said, "I'll speak to my friend who we've been friends since 2015. So I actually started speaking to him, and he said, "When is the actual championship?" So I actually gave him the dates, and he said, "Mira, for practice, let me find out. I'll look at the dates." And then he came back and he said, "Mira, I've been looking at it. I'm actually available them dates. Do you have a captain? Would you mind me being your captain?" I said, "Wow, okay, you want to be our captain? That's like Messi coming to someone in the GFA and saying, can I be in your team?"
A pesca era algo que está presente na minha vida, portanto, porque a minha casa, portanto, sempre fomos pescadores. O meu pai e a minha mãe sempre pescaram e a pesca foi sempre algo que esteve na família. O gosto pela pesca, a pesca em si. A pesca de competição apareceu mais tarde, porque eu e a minha família viemos de Angola, portanto, na altura que houve um problema em Angola, tivemos que nos mudar para Portugal, mas já pescávamos em Angola e depois, quando chegámos cá, perto do mar, portanto, a pesca sempre esteve presente. Sou 5 vezes campeão de Portugal, individual, tenho 2 títulos de clubes em Portugal, sou campeão mundial individual uma vez, sou 2 vezes medalha de prata, 2 vezes medalha de bronze, sou 4 vezes campeão com a equipa portuguesa, sou 3 vezes medalha de prata, sou 3 vezes medalha de bronze, sou uma vez campeão do mundo com o meu clube, 2 vezes medalha de prata com o meu clube, que me recordo agora. Em Corcheu sou campeão da Europa de Corcheu com o meu clube, tenho uma medalha de bronze individual de Corcheu, de pesca de boia, que é a modalidade que eu agora me tenho ocupado mais. E eu não dou valor ao palmarés, porque gostamos, mas não... Ok, é o que é.
Bueno, guys, aquí estamos. Aquí está mi colega Dario, mi roommate.
El driver.
El driver. Aquí está mi colega Argay. Y aquí está the old faithful Charlie Carreras.
Morning.
Morning.
Ahí vamos, triunfar. Number one. Vamos a salir primero, Gibraltar.
Vámonos.
Charlie, si quiero parar, yo tengo tu número.
Aquí está Uncle Willy.
¿Para qué?
Vamos, si inventa fatiga.
Morning.
Michael.
La de cuerpo algo.
Y aquí está Dad. Mira Dad, ahí está Dad atrapado.
Ahora llegamos
Mira.
2 a las 3.
Por si nos perdemos, paramos a stop.
Parece mentira, ¿eh?
La famosa desayuno. Hoy.
Parece mentira que nos vamos otra vez.
Las 2 a las 3, ¿no?
Eso es lo que me parece a mí mentira, que nos vamos otra vez.
It's never late to have a last minute shave. Here we can see Charlie having a last minute shave. Getting ready for our competitions. I see the team really well prepared, to be honest. The best I've been prepared anytime, to be honest. And we're actually anxious to go to do the training. He's actually set 5 days training for us, so we're gonna go just under 2 weeks before our competition starts to train on the same beaches. We're gonna go to train, but we're gonna train with the same tides. That's the idea. So we fish, we know what the tides are gonna be like, how the tides are gonna be moving. We're gonna be moving with the tides up and down, and obviously to get that sort of idea of how it's gonna move and how we're gonna be placed in the actual fishing box, because we actually call it like a fishing box. We are enclosed in that box, and you can't move from there. You can't sort of cast any sideways. That's your box, that's your area, and you have to work within the area. Mori. Mostel al mar.
Las cosas, pasaporte.
Sí. Venga.
Que estamos haciendo todos los preparativos y todo ya en la casa de mis padres, ¿eh? Mira todas las cositas que estamos haciendo aquí.
We made a WhatsApp group with Jose Alfonso, and he was sending us information about the weights we had to purchase, the lines we were going to use, the hooks, the traces, everything. So he sent us like a document for us to sort of study, and he set us on that document. He set all the rigs for us to have prepared, and he also sent us a couple of rigs as so that we could actually see his quality of work and sort of try to marry it as much as possible. And that sort of gave us a good perspective of what he wanted from us, really.
He started giving us feedback, information, and so that's where the team started building up, getting together, and then suddenly came the homework. Jose started firing us with all the rigs, all the materials we had to buy, and all the stuff we had to prepare for the actual championship.
He does everything color-coded, so he knows each color represents a diameter and a length. So we've been doing the same. So it's sort of everyone fishes with the same techniques, same lines, same diameters, same lengths, same everything. So it's very easy to say, okay, we're gonna fish with 3 meters, 2 hooks rig. You know, there's only one. 3 meters to hooks. You get it, and that's it. Or he could actually say, let's fish with black and red, which was a color coding of that one, for example, or black and blue. So that was the way how we started off elaborating our rigs. And as I said before, Jose elaborated a good docket for us and put a lot of information there. He put everything in there for us.
So that's when we actually started getting together every week, and then actually, as I say, hiding in the house because it was finished work, go straight to the house, rigs, and we spend, I don't know, I must have spent easy a couple of months just making up rigs, because we actually had 130 rigs, which we took for the practice days.
And that's when we started talking to each other a lot and tried to get everyone involved and to obviously to get everyone on the same wavelength and on the same path. I see the team really well prepared, to be honest. The best I've been prepared anytime, to be honest. And we're actually anxious to go to do the training on the same beaches. We're gonna go to train, but we're gonna train with the same tides. That's the idea. So we fish, we know what the tides are gonna be like, how the tides are gonna be moving. We're gonna be moving with the tides up and down, and obviously to get that sort of idea of how it's gonna move and how we're gonna be placed in the actual fishing box.
You gotta get into the groove.
We went up to Portugal for 5 days for an initial training session. We met up with Jose Alfonso, and we've actually practiced for 4 days on the 2 beaches which we are going to use on the actual championship. Basically, is to familiarize yourself with the tides, familiarize yourself with the beaches, get to see which species of fish are actually being caught at that moment in the beach, which distances fishes are eating, whether the fish are eating top water, at the bottom, what bait or what combination of baits is the best one working for that type of fish which you are actually going to target. Then you start looking at which are the fishes which are mostly caught, which are the fish which are going to give you more points, and that's where you start learning and investigating what rig, what bait, what combination, what distance. So basically you start getting a feel of how everything is actually going to be during the World Championship. We actually went 15 days before to actually fish the same hours and the same tides. That means you are getting very similar conditions to the same conditions that you're going to have during the actual World Championship.
Triplete. Antes sacado 2, José. 2. Ahora 3.
El mío reserva que es un... Y hoy que es un crack.
You gotta get into the groove.
El que ha ganado el concurso ayer.
Prueba el que ha ganado el concurso ayer.
Ahí tiene el premio.
Tiene el premio.
In the opening ceremonies, you go through a lot of emotions. You usually in all the World Championships, you walk down the city or you walk down the town area, one person of the team carries your flag, you feel really proud, so you go through a lot of emotions, pride, you do feel a bit of pressure, you're pressured a bit because you don't want to do a bad job, you want to do the best you can because you're actually representing your country. So you've got a bit of pressure because you have to really give all you can to actually get a good result, to give the best you can all the time and show you can actually do something good for your country.
The opening ceremony is quite emotional, really. It's when we carry the flag, there's a little sort of parade. It's very good because it's like everyone's there for the same aim, like to win and to do a good competition. And it's quite sort of, it's quite nice that everyone's sort of walking down or marching down and we're actually talking to each other. So it's really sort of a friendly atmosphere at the opening ceremony.
It's going to be a difficult competition because there's quite a few very good teams, there's a team which has been World Championship in the last 2 or 3 years, very good team, and also two or three other teams which are also World Champions, and it's going to be a very tough competition.
Training couldn't be any better. We've got a world champion as a captain and a Portuguese champion who's fished these venues on many occasions and won. So he knows all the different traces and he knows what to do under different circumstances depending on the weather. So every morning before we start, he's going to tell us what trace to get out, what to use, what bait, etc., etc. So for us, it's the first time we have that advantage, you know.
I reckon there's not going to be much fish around. There will be a big element of luck to see who will be taking the actual good positions on the day. It's going to be quite difficult. I reckon that the Spanish are the teams to beat, really. For us, or the way I see our team, we've got a really good team, but we are the underdogs, basically, yes. Yesterday we did a competition with no, on our last training session, Jose did not coach us. He told us, well, you're going to go out there and you're just going to fish and see who wins. And obviously, me and Dylan had been giving quite a bit of stick to Trevor. Okay, he was not fishing quite well, the usual, the usual that goes on with us, the brothers. And obviously, as you all know, Trevor won yesterday. So Jose said, you won the competition yesterday, you take the flag.
It's always an honor to take your flag, walk it all around this beautiful place in Portugal.
Expectations, really, we always go out there to win. We never, I personally don't go out there and say, well, our aim is not to come last. My aim is to win always, and we have to give 120% always. This time round, I think we've got a bit of an advantage with Jose, who's going to teach us quite a few things. I think that's going to play a good part in the way we fish, our strategy and all that stuff. And I reckon we'll be in the first, I would say, half of the actual rankings at the end. That's a good position for us.
Looking at the teams which are going, my expectations, obviously, my dream is to actually win a medal, obviously. Mira, every person wants to win. We're not going to kid no one here. Pero I think, looking at the other teams which are competing, I think we should be happy if we get there's 16 teams on this World Championship. So I think if we get between 8th, 9th, 10th, that should already be a very, very good results for our club.
As debilidades seriam a falta de experiência e alguma falta de conhecimento. Os irmãos Dália, que são chicos maravilhosos, têm um monte de amigos por todo lado, que hablam com toda a gente e conseguem um manancial de informação. Mas não a conseguem processar bem, porque é muita. E essas são as debilidades, mas tinham todas as outras vantagens. Uma vontade grande de aprender e com essa vontade elaboramos um plano, cumpria-se o plano que nós portanto, definíamos entre todos e isso foi perfeito.
A vossa atenção para o hino nacional de Gibraltar.